are celebrating the 5,000th lead service line replacement. On September 19th, our contractor, SWT, replaced the 5,000th lead service line to be replaced since accelerated work began in 2017. That replacement happened on Stewart Avenue, and so we're here today to celebrate that milestone. We're working towards a goal of about 10,000 lead service lines to replace. We're also kicking off the start of our next big project area, which is going to be in Edison. We have 1,300 lead service lines contracted to start in Edison in November, and then we just received word that we are funded for another 1,300 lead service lines to be replaced from a program through Eagle. So when you add that all together, we're at 2,600 lead service lines replaced, plus the 5,000 lead service lines already replaced. So we are on track to have 7,600 lead service lines replaced by 2027. Well ahead of the Eagle goal and well ahead of the newly announced EPA requirement to have all lead services replaced within 10 years.
In terms of the lead service lines that are being replaced, it's important for folks here to understand that you really are ahead of just about everywhere else in the country. And that's because your local officials, your governor's office, everybody's been working in lockstep on a plan and getting ahead of the curve. And that is going to serve you well here.
The lead service line, or a service line in general, is that portion that conveys water from the water main in the street that's usually made of cast or ductile iron, and that connects your house to that main. So that's a smaller diameter pipe, usually a 1 inch or 3/4 of an inch pipe that runs from the main in the street and then usually to your basement, and then connects your interior plumbing and your water meter then to that water main in the street. And lead services are so important because that lead service can leach lead into your drinking water. So Kalamazoo water does not contain lead. There's no lead in our wells. There's no lead in our water main, but water that is in contact with the lead service line and water that is in contact with the lead service line, say overnight when you sleep, it stagnates. And that could be a source of lead in your drinking water. So we know we've got to get those lead service lines out.
This is a really vibrant community, and these investments are making a difference. I mean, the bottom line is this. A lot of people wonder, how does government help me? Where are my taxpayer dollars going? Well, here they're going to make sure that our youngsters can live healthy lives because their water isn't infested with lead, making sure that people can realize the American dream of home ownership, making sure we have livable communities. So many people here are, they walk along streets that were constructed in the era of the 60s where we didn't pay attention to pedestrian safety, and now we are. So safe, livable communities here are what it's about. And that's all about partnership. And so I hope people can take comfort in the fact that there's a lot of good stuff going on here in Kalamazoo. And this partnership in action is really yielding benefits.
With 10,000 total lead service lines in the system, having 5,000 completed is halfway to that goal. 1,300 under contract to start here in November. That adds to that work, and then another 1,300 that we just received funding for in the same neighborhood is going to further that progress, getting us to 7,600 lead service lines completed by 2027. So by 2027, we're 76% of the way of our goal, and that's a huge accomplishment for the city of Kalamazoo, a huge accomplishment for our citizens, and it's well on our way to get the lead out here in Kalamazoo.